Can everyone see that?
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous.
No.
So
I don't see it actually. Oh,
no.
it's coming. Yes, it's just appeared.
Yeah, everyone can see it, or just shout out if you can't see it. No, good. Right, let's try this. So basically I'm giving a talk on building business confidence, and there's 5 simple steps that I have created to help you do this. Now I'm just going to, everyone's picture, I'm just going to move a bit, so bear with me because it's hiding some of my slide. Right. Oops, now I've gone, sorry. So what are we going to discuss in this chat? So basically, I am going to give you an overview on what confidence is, things that you should know about confidence, the importance of it. Then I will talk you through the 5 steps that I've put together to help you build your business confidence, and then some final thoughts at the end of it. So first of all, who am I? Well, I'm Michelle. I'm a midlife coach, successful author, serial life experimenter, and mum to 2 gorgeous human beings and 1 dog. I think the dog takes up most of my time, more than the humans do at the moment. And I work with exhausted midlife women who are tired of living their life around other people and other people's commitments, and ready to start committing to their own dreams and goals. And as I've been doing this work, what I see a lot of is a loss of confidence. So women quite often get stuck in a home or a work rut. They get caught up in organising other people's lives. For those of us that are mums, I'm sure we're all familiar with that scenario of sort of running around after children, organising their events and making our day fit around their lives. Equally, if you're sort of, you know, if you're used to be in a career, you may well remember running around all your colleagues and stuff like that. And quite often what I'm seeing is people have lost sight of their aspirations and have this sense of having lost sort of skills and the confidence of skills that they might have had from younger life or a previous life. And I'm probably a living, breathing example of that, having 4 years ago decided to end my marriage, leave the country that I was living in, leave 1 child behind and bring 1 child back with me to this country. Had no job to come back to, a house to run without a handyman around, and effectively become a new sort of single mum and a new single person. So my 2 biggest things for me that I lost my confidence about was my ability to do stuff around the house, practical stuff, even though I'd lived on my own previously, and also being single. Dating's changed a lot since, you know, before I met my husband. It's a whole different world. So that was, you know, a whole, and I've kind of dipped my toe in it and brought it sharply back out and decided it's not for me at the moment. But, you know, things change when you've been stuck in a certain path in life, and it's finding that confidence or to carry on and do things that you used to do and haven't had to do for a while, or maybe never had to do. And I help women get clear on what it is that they want to achieve. And I do this through a number of ways. I do it through coaching and practical strategies. So I'm really big on mindset, but I'm also really big on the practical stuff as well. And we work together to devise a doable action plan. That means that you can start living a life on your terms that brings more joy, inspiration, a different outlook and purpose. So that's a little bit about me. Right, move you guys again. I'm going to keep moving your photos around. So what is confidence? It's one of those terms that can be, I think, a little bit intangible. We talk about people exuding confidence or radiating confidence or being confident, living, striving, rocking confidence. It's this sort of almost elusive concept, or we look to personalities like sort of rock stars, movie stars, or, you know, people like Michelle Obama, Beyonce, you know, people that we know, and we kind of look up to them and say, oh, that's what confidence looks like. So sometimes we can feel that it's unobtainable, or that it needs to be a certain way or style. But actually, if it's broken down, it's a very simple thing. So if we look at the dictionary definition, confidence is the quality of being certain of your abilities or of having trust in people, plans, or the future. So that gives it a bit more of a tangible concept. And within confidence, there are three key areas, and that is skills confidence, and that is what we may need or have to the skills that we need for our business, our day-to-day living, our hobbies. So skills that we need for whatever business. So whether that's knowing how to use CAD for design of kitchens and bathrooms, or knowing how to make a shopping list for your everyday shopping stuff. Then we have social confidence, and that's our ability to interact with others in various social settings. And then probably what I think is the most important is self-confidence, and that's your sense of self-belief and self-assurance, that knowledge that you have certainty that you can do stuff without feeling anxious and overwhelmed, that sort of calm knowledge of knowing that you can do things. So that's a little bit about what confidence actually is. And these are things I think you should know about confidence. And this is what I believe about confidence, that confidence is not an either or. You're not confident or not confident, if that makes sense. It's not an all or nothing. It's a case of we all have confidence of some description. We will all have a lot of confidence around a lot of things, and then a little less confidence around other things. So always hold on to it. It's not an all or nothing. We all have confidence. And also confidence ebbs and flows. So that can be affected by, especially as women, by our hormones. That can sort of affect our mood and how we perceive things. Then things like the current pandemic has probably knocked the confidence of pretty much most of us in one area or another. You know, I hear people talking about they feel anxious going back out socially and stuff like that. So it's not always on an even level. It ebbs and flows. And we're not born with confidence. Confidence is a social construct that is dependent on how the people around us interact with us. So, you know, when we're young, it will be our parents, our siblings, our teachers. It's everything that's happening socially that can impact your confidence. We all know people that have had parents that perhaps have knocked their confidence and not helped build it up. And equally, we've know people with parents that, you know, were brilliant at really encouraging their children to be confident. And finally, confidence is not solved by a magic pill. I wish it was, but it isn't. It's not something you can swallow. You do have to put in a little bit of effort and do some work, which is what we'll be doing tonight. But the good news about the fact that we're not born with it and that it's not a magic pill is that it means we can all build our confidence, that we all have that opportunity in the spaces that we feel that we need more confidence. So I'm just losing my voice now. So why is confidence important? Well, there's an awful lot of studies that cite lack of confidence as being a major obstacle, particularly for female entrepreneurs and small business owners, compared to their male counterparts. And the thing about confidence is, or the lack of confidence, it becomes quite insidious and can creep into areas where you do have confidence. So what I mean by that is, it kind of, lack of confidence breeds further lack of confidence. So for example, can you imagine, you know, I think of doing a Facebook Live and it doesn't quite go to plan. Your internet has a moment and it breaks down. So then you have to sort of hit reset, go back on, you become a bit flustered. So you stumble over a couple of words and you come off the line and go, God, that's really awful. That's the worst live I've ever done. And then it kind of knocks on because then someone leaves your Facebook group and you immediately attach it to the fact that you've done this awful live. And then you go, why have they left my Facebook group? Oh, I haven't had much engagement. Oh, crikey, my copywriting must be really awful. Oh, my copywriting is really awful. I can't string a simple post together. Oh, well, that means that I'm really crap at social media. If I'm crap at social media, then I can't. We've all had those conversations at some point, right? It just feeds into every area of our life. So by working on areas of confidence, which are perhaps not at the levels that you would like, then confidence breeds confidence and it kind of spills over into other areas of your business. And it means you have less fear and anxiety as you become more and more confident. You learn how to overcome and calm that inner critic. So motivation, building confidence means you take small action steps towards your goals. So you build that sense of achievement. And as you achieve more, you challenge yourself more. And as you challenge yourself more, you achieve more. So it's like that, feeding that cycle of confidence. Also, there's resilience. There'll be times that you are, and I hate to use the word fail, but we all know what that means. But we're perhaps not doing the best that we can, something goes wrong, but you learn to see that as a measure of growth rather than a negative situation. You learn to handle this rather than beat yourself up. You also improve your relationships with other people because you're getting out of your head. When you have that negative self-talk, people can kind of, it's a bit like dogs, they can smell fear a mile away, and we also notice when other people aren't feeling confident. So the more you improve your confidence, and even if it's a case of having to sort of fake it till you make it, people notice that. And when you're less focused on yourself and what's going on for you, you are more focused on other people and giving to them and interacting with them better. And more importantly, you become more authentically you, which sounds a bit kind of woohoo, but the more that you come out of the head, you learn to accept your vulnerabilities and learn to accept that you're not 100% perfect in 100% of things, and that they are actually part of you. You know your own sense of worth and you relax more into yourself. So that's a bit about why confidence is important, especially in your business. Now, I do want to point out that everything we go through, whilst I'm putting a business slant on it, is applicable to all areas of your life, also in your personal life. So these steps that we're going to go through will basically, you can use for any area of your life. So step number one, and I will take you back through this again later, is identify. So what is something specific that you think you don't have confidence in? So for the purpose of this, I'm going to say Facebook Lives. You go, oh, I really don't like doing Facebook Live. So be really specific, because what happens is we tend to go, oh, I'm not confident in something, or I lack confidence, and kind of leave it at that and don't actually nail what it is and be specific. You can't change something unless you're specific about it. Just sort of throwing your hands up in the air and going, that's it, I really feel deflated and, you know, don't want to do this and blah, 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 you're going to get blah, blah, blah. But when you actually nail it down and decide what it is specifically, then you can start to work on it and find a solution. So step number two, what's the missing link? So I'm liking it to a bracelet. The links, the chains of a bracelet. We want a whole bracelet. What is the link that is missing? And I'm going to take you back to those components of confidence, that's skill, social, and self. It might be one, it might be two, it might be three things. So for example, I've identified that I don't like doing Facebook Lives. What is it that I don't like about doing Facebook Lives? I don't know how to do them. I don't know how the technology works. That's a skill thing. I feel really self-conscious being in front of the camera. So that's a self thing. So I'll write those two things down. Then step 3, the solution. What needs to happen? So firstly, I need to brush up on my tech skills. And secondly, I need to work on my confidence. Aha, you say, well, of course you do. So then action, what steps do you need to take? So the first one is I need to brush up on my tech skills. How specifically can I do this? Right, I'm going to look at the Facebook help page and a YouTube video, and there's Jane. She's one of my business buddies. She does Facebook Lives every day. She loves them. I'm going to have a chat with her and see if she can help me with it. The confidence thing. Well, I know logically I need to practice it. So I need to perhaps just do my own private videos on my mobile, my laptop. And there's Gay in the group. She's a camera confidence coach. I'm going to have a chat with her and book a session with her. So those are the actions. Then, most importantly, schedule them. Give yourself some accountability. When are you going to take action? So put it into your planner, your diary, your phone, set up an alert, whatever. I mean, you know your schedules and what it's like, but actually schedule in when you're going to do those actions. So, for example, I don't know how clearly you can see this. So this is roughly what it looks like. So you'd put the problem there. So I've got a great big thing in front of my screen so that I can't see it. You would put the missing link down on this column here. You will put the solution, you will put the actions, and then you'll put your schedule in. So I'm going to look at Facebook tonight and YouTube tonight. I'm going to speak to Jane tomorrow. I've decided I'm going to block 15 minutes out daily next week, every day, so that I can just do practice videos on my mobile. I've decided that I should wear outfits that make me feel and look good. So I'm going to go through my wardrobe on Wednesday, and I'm going to call the camera confidence coach tomorrow. So, I mean, I've just made all of this up, but it gives you an idea of how to utilize those steps so you actually get some practical stuff out of it. And then finally, most importantly, and I absolutely say this all the time with my clients, acknowledge. Acknowledge, acknowledge, acknowledge what you're good at, because you wouldn't have started up in business unless you were good at something. You know, you needed to bring that skill. So whatever it is, acknowledge that you are absolutely fabulous at it. And also remember to acknowledge the journey you're on, not just the end result. So for example, that Facebook Live, don't just acknowledge it when you've got to the end of it and done the Facebook Live. Acknowledge the fact that you've turned up tonight and listened to this. Acknowledge the fact that you've written down your first steps. Acknowledge it when you've made the phone calls or whatever step it is. Acknowledge all the way. And also accept that it's absolutely okay not to be fabulous at every facet of your business. You know, think of all the big businesses. They have teams to do stuff. There is no one person that does everything. They have teams and departments for every link of that chain. So you are trying to do lots of links of that chain. So, well, come on, give yourself a pat on the back, because that is pretty amazing. But equally, don't put yourself down if there's a bit of a link that you're struggling with and not quite got it perfect. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And I will mention this, my sister sent me this card years ago and it's always stuck in my brain. So there is a swear alert. If you don't like swearing, stick your fingers in your ears. But she sent me a birthday card and it said, Queen of fucking everything. And I absolutely love that card because I think, you know, as women in business, that is literally what we are, the queens of fucking everything. And we do need to acknowledge ourselves for that. And then importantly, you are the boss. And sometimes I think we get a little overwhelmed with everything that's out there. We listen to lots of experts and there's brilliant experts out there, but then that can start off this sort of whole panic chain of, oh, should I have a website? What sort of website should I have? What social media platform should I be on? What is this SEO thing? Oh, you know, and you get all this, should I have? And the thing is, there is a lot of amazing advice out there. There's a lot of mediocre advice out there. There's expensive to cheap. All of it will be right and all of it will be wrong to someone. You know, there are many, many ways of doing every facet of your business, especially things like marketing. You know, there's scarcity tactics, there's spammy selling, there's selling with value. And some things will be right for some people and some things won't be right for people. And it gets overwhelming and eats away at your confidence. So the one thing I would say to you when you're feeling that overwhelm with advice and where you should be going and what direction and who you should be listening to or buying into or what service or what product, is ask what your current business needs are now. Not what you might need in 6 months' time, but what you need right now in the next month or so. Where's your business focus and how will that service, product, expert help you here and now? Because that expert will always be there when you need it. If it's 6 months down the track, they'll be there 6 months down the track. Just remember that you own your business and it needs to suit you, your values and how you want to operate it. And only you know that, not someone else. So just always remember that you are the boss. And finally, it's okay to accept help. And we all know this on a logical level and we say it to everyone, but we very rarely listen to it ourselves. So help comes in different guises. So there's practical expert help, and I think I've just covered that ever so slightly. There's employing people and having them on your team. So maybe it would be a VA like Tori, maybe it will be a website host, whatever. Letting off steam with a business bestie. We all have those days. We have a crazy client or our programs just don't work or our laptops, I don't know, exploded in our face, and you just need to go off and talk to another business bestie who absolutely gets where you're coming from. Although I find that my dog's quite good for that and she doesn't answer back either. Membership groups or Facebook groups, business Facebook groups, they're really great. And sometimes it's simply time out of business. Time to sort of shut your laptop, put your notebook away and go, I'm going for a walk, I'm going for a break, I'm going for a cuppa. But it's absolutely okay and it's vital, I would say, to have help. And it's over to you. That's my talk. We are going to go away and do it in breakout rooms. I am going to actually make you do some work. Do you have any questions for me on that?
No.
No, silence? Was it all perfectly clear?
Definitely.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Can I ask everyone, what was their biggest takeaway from that?
I'm the boss.
Yeah.
That's a great takeaway. Mine was, and I love this, it's about authenticity, and there's a lot out there and there's so many different ways of doing things, but find the way that works for you. So that was, yeah, like I love that authenticity and doing things that fit with you and your values.
I think that is so important.
I think believing in yourself as well has come through that. So
brilliant.
You do see a lot of people telling you how to run your business and everything, But like you say, what works for everybody, some people doesn't work for everybody. So it's, you know, believing in what you want to do rather than what everybody's telling you.
Yeah, and I think there's moments where you
Definitely
sort of
so.
forget about that, and that's why I always, you know, I even put a card up going, "I'm the boss." You know, it's your business done your way, basically. I'm just going to take you back to the screen just in case you need a reminder, because I'm going to get you to do that exercise in the breakout rooms where you just do a quick graph like this. Can you all see the screen quite clearly?
Yeah.
We've got a notepad and pen if you just make a note of that. And then just, I'm going to put you in breakout. Stop sharing. Work out how to do breakout rooms as well.
Can you put your screen on for Michelle? Just writing down the 6
Oh,
categories.
I do beg your pardon. Yeah.
Can't write that quick, sorry.
All right. There we go. Everyone got the main headlines. So that was just an example I'd put into the screen. That's not necessarily something that would be your area of lack of confidence. Right, if I take that down, or is everyone?
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to put everyone in breakout rooms for